If you've been researching luxury homes in Irvine, there's a good chance Orchard Hills keeps showing up. And there's a reason for that. Compared to many other parts of Irvine, Orchard Hills offers a very different feeling. Gated neighborhoods, hillside surroundings, and newer luxury construction. Orchard Hills borders open space areas and has a more secluded feel than many urban villages too. But what makes this community especially interesting is that buyers here are usually not just shopping for square footage. They're evaluating lifestyle, privacy, long-term value, and how the home actually functions for daily living. So in today's video, we are not only walking through the property itself, we'll also talk about what's really like living in Orchard Hills, what buyers tend to prioritize in this price range, and some of the trade-offs people should understand when comparing Orchard Hills with other luxury communities in Orange County. As we approach the home, one of the first things you notice is the streetscape and overall presentation of the neighborhood. This part of Orchard Hills has a very polished and cohesive feel. The landscaping is mature, the roads are wide and clean, and because many of the homes are newer construction, the entire community feels visually consistent. For luxury buyers in Irvine, lot placement matters a lot, more than many people realize. Buyers at this level are often evaluating privacy from neighboring homes, street positioning, natural light exposure, traffic flow, and whether the home feels open or enclosed. And in Orchard Hills specifically, certain lots command significant premiums because of view orientation, hillside positioning, or reduced density behind the property. One reason many buyers are drawn to Orchard Hills is the balance between luxury and practicality. You're getting newer construction and a modern layout, but still within Irvine's highly planned environment with strong infrastructure and amenities. As soon as you walk into the home, the scale becomes immediately apparent. This is one of those floor plans designed to create a strong first impression. The dramatic double-height foyer, symmetrical staircase, open second-floor hallways, and layered sidelines all work together to create a sense of openness and architectural presence. And what's interesting here is that the home doesn't rely on excessive ornamentation to feel luxurious. Instead, the design philosophy is much more about scale, light, and flow. You can see that throughout the home. Wide circulation paths, oversized openings between rooms, tall ceilings, and a very clean modern palette. Another thing I really like about this layout is how visually connected the spaces feel while still maintaining separation between different functions of the home. From the entry, you immediately see into multiple living areas, but each space still has its own identity. The flooring continually also plays a big role here, using the same white plank flooring throughout the first level helps the home feel even larger and more cohesive. And because the home uses lighter finishes combined with warm wood cabinetry and natural textures, the overall atmosphere feels modern but still comfortable, something many luxury buyers in Irvine are prioritizing right now. This main living area is designed around openness and flexibility. One thing that stands out immediately is the width of the space. Instead of having a narrow great room connected to the kitchen, this layout creates a very expansive central living environment where multiple activities can happen simultaneously without the home feeling crowded. You have the kitchen, casual dining area, formal dining space, great room, and additional flex space, all visually connected. And this is actually something many affluent buyers specifically look for today, homes that support both entertaining and everyday living at the same time. The great room itself feels very calm and balanced. The fireplace creates a natural focal point where the oversized sliding glass doors at the back continuously draw your attention toward the outdoor living area. Another thing I think this home does particularly well is the transition between indoor and outdoor spaces. The rear wall of the glass helps the home feel visually deeper, especially with the hillside backdrop behind the property. And because there's no home directly behind the backyard slope, the space feels more open and private compared with many Irvine neighborhoods where homes are packed much closer together. One subtle but important detail is how the ceiling heights and room proportions work together. Luxury homes aren't only about square footage. They're about how the volume of the home feels emotionally when you walk through it. And here, the combination of wide open sightlines, natural light, and layered spaces gives the home a very airy and contemporary feeling. The kitchen is clearly one of the centerpiece features of this home. And in luxury urban homes, kitchens are often evaluated almost like command centers for daily living and entertaining. This kitchen combines several features buyers consistently prioritize: a large central island, extensive cabinetry, clean modern finishes, strong workspace flow, and direct connection to both indoor and outdoor entertaining areas. One thing I really like here is the balance between aesthetics and functionality. The warm wood cabinetry softens the modern white surface and keeps the kitchen from feeling too cold or overly minimalistic. The oversized island naturally becomes a gathering point for family and guests. And because the kitchen opens directly into great room and dining spaces, the entire first floor functions almost like one integrated entertaining environment. And then you have a feature that many luxury buyers especially appreciate: the separate prep kitchen and a walk-in pantry. This is increasingly desirable in higher-end urban homes because it allows homeowners to keep the main kitchen visually clean while handling heavier cooking, storage, or catering preparation separately. For buyers from multi-generational households or cultures where cooking plays a major role in family life, this layout can be extremely valuable. The formal dining room here also deserves attention because it's unusually large and very well connected to the outdoor space. With the massive sliding doors fully open, this entire section of the home almost transforms into a resort-style indoor-outdoor entertaining areas, and that's one of the definitions of newer Southern California luxury homes. They're designed less around formal separation and more around experience-oriented living. The backyard is another area where this property really stands out. One of the biggest advantages here is the sense of openness behind the home. Instead of backing directly into another row of houses at close distance, the property benefits from the hillside setting and the landscaped slope behind the lot, which creates a much more private and visually open atmosphere. And in Irvine, that can be a significant premium feature because many newer communities tend to have tighter backyard spacing. The large format pavers, covered California room, and expensive sliding glass doors all reinforce the indoor-outdoor lifestyle Southern California buyers are looking for. This is the kind of setup where homeowners can comfortably host large gatherings while still having usable outdoor space for daily living. Another thing I think buyers will appreciate is the shape and the functionality of the lot itself. The backyard is relatively flat, open, and highly usable, which is actually more important than simply having a large lot on paper. Some luxury homes technically have bigger lots, but because of slope or awkward layouts, the usable outdoor area ends up being much smaller. Here, the outdoor space feels efficient, low maintenance, and very entertainment-oriented. And because the rear hillside creates visual depth, the backyard feels more expansive than many similarly sized properties. This connection between modern architecture, natural surroundings, and functional outdoor living is one of the reasons Orchard Hills continues to attract strong luxury demand. One of the most functional aspects of this floor plan is the flexibility on the first floor. You have both a downstairs bedroom suite and a dedicated office, which gives the home a tremendous amount of adaptability depending on the buyer's lifestyle. The downstairs suite is especially valuable for multi-generational living, long-term guests, visiting parents, or even living support situations. And because the bedroom has its own adjacent bed, it functions almost like a private retreat separate from the upstairs sleeping areas. This is something many buyers relocating from the Bay Area or overseas markets specifically look for because multi-generational living has become increasingly common in Irvine luxury communities. The office is another important feature because luxury buyers today often prioritize dedicated work-from-home environments. And what's nice here is that the office is positioned near the front of the home, allowing for privacy and separation from the main entertaining areas. Meanwhile, the additional flex game room toward the back of the house creates even more versatility. Depending on the homeowner's needs, this space could function as a media room, secondary lounge, kids playroom, gym, game room, or even another entertaining space connected directly to the backyard. This is one reason newer luxury floor plans continue to attract strong demand. They are designed around flexibility instead of rigid room definitions. As we enter the primary suite, the first thing that stands out is the scale and openness of the room. This suite feels less like a standard bedroom and more like a private retreat within the home. One thing this layout does especially well is creating multiple usable zones within the suite itself. You have the sleeping area, a separate sitting area, the generous circulation space throughout the room, which makes the suite feel much more elevated and luxurious. The tray ceiling detail also adds another layer of architectural depth without making the room feel visually heavy. And because of the large windows along multiple walls, the room gets excellent natural light while still maintaining privacy. Another thing I think buyers will appreciate here is the calmness of the overall design. The lighter flooring, soft wall tones, and clean lines create a very relaxed atmosphere that fits the Orchard Hills lifestyle particularly well. In many luxury homes, oversized bedrooms can sometimes feel empty or disconnected, but here, the proportions feel balanced and intentional. This is the kind of suite that supports both luxury and everyday comfort. Whether that's a quiet morning overlooking the greenery outside or simply having enough space to create a chill retreat from the more active parts of the home. And because the home backs to the hillside rather than another tightly packed row of homes, the windows feel much more open and peaceful compared with many newer Irvine neighborhoods. The primary bathroom continues the same design philosophy we saw throughout the home: clean, open, bright, and highly functional. One of the standout features here is the symmetry of the layout. You have dual vanities on opposite sides, centered around the oversized glass-enclosed shower, which creates a very balanced and almost spa-like presentation as soon as you walk in. The freestanding soaking tub positioned beneath the windows also becomes a major focal point of the room. And this is something luxury buyers increasingly prioritize: bathrooms that feel more like wellness spaces rather than simply functional rooms. Another thing I really like is how much natural light the space receives. Because the bathroom is so open and bright, it feels calm and airy instead of enclosed, which is especially important in larger luxury homes where some bathrooms can feel overly compartmentalized. The oversized walk-in shower also reflects current luxury design trends: frameless glass, open visual lines, lighter finishes, and a more minimalistic aesthetic. At the same time, the warm wood cabinetry helps soften the space and keep it feeling inviting rather than too modern or sterile. And from a functionality standpoint, the layout works extremely well for everyday living. You have generous counter space, separation between vanity areas, excellent circulation, and direct access into the walk-in closet. This combination of openness, functionality, and natural light is one reason newer luxury homes continue to appeal strongly to today's buyers. If you are considering Orchard Hills, you're probably also comparing communities like Hidden Canyon, Great Park, or newer homes in Lake Forest. Orchard Hills tends to appeal to buyers wanting a balance between luxury, newer homes, gated living, and strong urban location fundamentals. Luxury communities in Irvine can behave very differently depending on the neighborhood, lot, and floor plan. Hopefully, this tour gave you a better understanding not only of the home itself, but also the lifestyle and decision-making factors buyers often evaluate in this market. If you're evaluating Orchard Hills or other Irvine luxury communities, I'm happy to help you compare the trade-offs strategically. If you enjoy analytical property tours like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Susan Zeng, and I'll see you in the next tour.